Okay, now I'm hearing sound. Good, sorry, I'm not sure whether anyone was able to hear me. I was talking until now, but I didn't have any game sounds or anything because I forgot to start my voice meter. You should be able to hear me, and what I said, I'm gonna repeat it in case someone missed it. I'm free for viewer games today. If anyone needs help with leveling, farming, or whatever, feel free to join me. I will be testing stuff, and I will be testing the counterattack based physical damage for the summoners. Um, yeah, I think it's fun to try this one. I'm gonna start with Chaos 5 and see if I can push it to something harder. Let's see how it goes. And I will be trying damage over time setup on my farming mage build. On my farming mage build, I will be trying the damage over time to see if it would be good damage. So there's that. So I'm looking for the pets to do more than 20 million or 17 million. That's what I used to get from the pets before. I'm still seeing the good hits, but I don't think they are as good as they used to be before. We'll see. I did see 13 million, so I'm looking for the big hit being close to 20 million, so I would know that it's as good as before. And mind you, before on my usual setup I'm using this one. Now I'm using this one, so this one by itself deals less damage. But if the little guys do more damage with this, it would be nice. But on the tooltip I'm seeing lower numbers. So it remains to be seen what the biggest hit would be of this build. I blessed all the gear for counterattack damage. Maybe doing something in the middle, blessing some of them for damage and the rest for counterattack damage would be better. So yeah, I installed the game on my streamer account, so today I would be open to joining some of my viewers' games. And we can do some team play and team farming, and I can help you farm gear or level up or whatever. Yeah, I think this setup is weaker than the other one, than the flat damage HP setup. Maybe the pets don't even benefit from the bonus from assassination. I still have to see what the biggest crit would be. The one that deals the most damage is this blue big summon. And it's supposed to deal... Let me check. This one can pierce. Can this one pierce? This one can't even pierce, so it's definitely not worth it. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 points more to be able to get this, so if I were to get rid of the Master Defiler's Reckoning and just use the basic one, then that means no chance for Dryads to appear. And that would end up being bad. I'll try it though, I'll try it. Extra cooldown reduction here, or do I wanna go for damage over time? No. This one would be nice for extra damage. Can get cooldown reduction here. But do I really need that cooldown reduction is the question. This one would be amazing if I can squeeze points for it. What about this one here? Damage, crit damage. I don't need crits. This armor piercing is nice as a bonus. If it applies to my pets. Now let's do this. This. And I need this one. This one, this one. I've got 6 points. 6 points, which means I can upgrade. Can probably upgrade one of those. Or upgrade follow tracks. Tactical retreat, I mean. Still something. Let's see how it will be like this. The damage here is 128% extra physical damage. But yeah, I think flat damage blessing is better for the summons. This damage is just not cutting it. I was slicing through them like butter with the other build on Chaos 5 and 6. Chaos 7 was a bit of a challenge, but yeah, this seems pretty weak when it comes to the numbers of the crits. Not the crits, of the pet hits. I have to pay attention to the big summon to see how much it can hit for. I've just summoned it, let's see. I wish I had some sort of a dummy in the town to keep testing my damage on. I think the biggest hit was 8 million I've seen. And before on Chaos 7 I was doing up to 17, 18, 20 million sometimes when things broke and stuck. So I will mention later in my video that I've tried this setup and it's not as strong. Just saw 10 million I think earlier, just now. So still half the damage. Half the damage not really worth it, maybe. Maybe a balanced version would be a bit better. The problem is I may not have the gear to make a balanced version. Let's test it. Let's bless this for the damage setup for the I'm gonna go half. I'm gonna bless 5 things, the weapons and the accessories. I'm gonna bless those and see if it's gonna be better than the full damage setup. With half counterattack, half damage. Thankfully I will have enough, just the right amount of green fragments. Getting low numbers unfortunately, but not much I can do. Did I bless the amulet? Not yet, so just the amulet left. Then I would have 5 for damage, 5 for counterattack, and that would mean it's like the most balanced setup. What's left? The amulet. Then I'll keep the gear with counterattack to see how it will be. Alright, let's see now. So I'm seeing slightly bigger numbers. But I still think this ambush is probably not getting applied to the pets. I think this is how it is. Counterattack based physical damage does not seem to be applied to the pets. And that's why the counterattack setup is probably not worth it. I'm gonna have to get a confirmation from the developers whether this is actually gonna be applied to my pets or not when I do that setup. I'm gonna have to kill the elite before the boss. Right, the elite is still alive and it's clustered up there where the boss is. Okay, got some fragments here. Everlasting Summer Gauntlets. Actually, that's a very good drop. That's a part of the set I was missing. Oh no, never mind, that's Everlasting Summer. I thought it was Star White. Well, it's still a good one. It's still a good one for the Everlasting Summer. I'm gonna check what my Everlasting Summer had at the moment. Everlasting Summer at the moment is... Yeah, that flat damage, 6000 flat damage, it's amazing. It's unfortunately losing HP if I use that one. 10,440 HP is lost, but 3,800 flat damage is just too good, and also counterattack. Where is it? Overall it would be a boost, a big boost even. So okay, I'm gonna quickly move on to Evolunteer. I wanna try the damage over time speedrunning setup to see if it's better with the damage over time instead of the farming crit chance stuff. My goal for this build would be to try and get it to do Chaos 7 without problems. So there's two things I want to try. One of them would be with Rift Eater, the other one with Soul Fire. Both of them probably would be fine. I've already blessed the gear for damage over time, HP, crit damage, all of it. Damage over time, damage over time, damage over time, damage over time. This one isn't, the helmet isn't. Okay, hopefully I have enough to bless the helmet. And wait, do I have a secondary helmet? I do have this one. That doesn't have wood quality and it's probably the better option. That's why I guess I didn't bless it. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna save the other one with the wood quality. Okay. So what was the combo? If I remember, it was it yellow, yellow, green? Green, green, yellow, green I think was the better option for more HP. Yeah, so I'm gonna quickly need something. Wait, why is this? Look at this bug. Wait, I'm missing some of the things here. I used to have more things on my other account. Oh, in any case, I guess I didn't lose that much. I need to check my DLCs. Maybe I've disabled some of the DLCs, but with the Magnus edition, I should have all the stuff there. So what we need is green, 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 yellow in the middle for some crit damage. You can get twice the crit damage and 2 times less maximum health, but the damage over time is always 200. So I prefer doing it that way. More HP. And you can see now I've got 38,000 damage over time. And this is, since it was for farming, I had those things here. Which means I'm gonna try and remove them and put something else there. Burning enemies take more magical damage, not a bad choice. And can I proc this? This cannot proc, as I suspected and knew. So there's few options. One of them would be the damage reduction, the other one would be the damage from potion. Or I can go and get some... This one doesn't give damage over time. Could get something like this. So, first of all, checking Chaos 6. I used to be able to do Chaos 6 very easy with this setup. Exploding enemy is not the best, but we'll see how it will be. So this is me trying the damage over time configuration. Wow, it's swagging because of the explosions. This is the only way the game works for me, when there's a shit tons of exploding enemies dying at the same time. So after this I'm gonna try Chaos 7 with this setup to see if it's gonna be viable. Damage over time. I mean, we do have a lot of HP. I mean, it's not 300,000 or 400,000, but it's still a nice chunk. And as I said, there's two ways to do it. One of them would be with Rift Eater, the other one would be with what I think I'm using at the moment, Soulfire. Soulfire is good for mobbing. The Rift Eater is probably better for boss fights. And thankfully I do have both of them. Like I do have a Rift Eater blessed for the damage over time, and I do have the Soulfire. So I'm gonna put this build tomorrow. If I can get it to do Chaos 7, I will upload it as a build for pushing. If I can't get it, I'm gonna upload the farming version, with the farmer's crit chance blessings. And if I can get it to push Chaos 7, then I can just mention the farming setup in the video as an alternative, as being the best one for farming. Because this really is probably the best farming setup in the game ever. The one I was playing before the damage overtime. When you stack up crit chance and when you stack Amulet of Contempt, the moment you can see I've changed Amulet of Contempt for Phase Shift. And here I'm using Ring of Cain's Fury and Ring of Hotek. Alternatively, something that would be good if I had it as a good draw would be the Dragon Blood's Ring. A good Dragon Blood Ring might be nice because on bosses I might want to do this, and then that would give me some more damage, some 50% damage. Ring of Hotek is not bad though, because it helps you regenerate energy and keeps you spamming the skill. So it is a good combo, nevertheless. I forgot that he's doing the... So this skill that killed me is the one-shot AoE. It's not the build, it's me running into the aura because I didn't see it. Okay, I think he's gonna do it again. Yes, he did it again. Okay. Shit, fuck, again I did the same thing. I thought it was gone. This is one of the worst skills because sometimes it blends with the environment and you don't see the skill ending. And it seemed like it was ended, but it didn't. You saw me teleporting and getting one shot by this annoying AoE. Alright, let's wait for the skill. Is he doing it? Maybe he isn't. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna try Chaos 7. Just gonna quickly check the wood. But I think it's very good with the damage over time increase. Alright, let's leave, and now Chaos 7, I'm gonna do a basic Chaos 7 run first. Basic Chaos 7. Checking my legendary ranks, all of them here. Good, maybe I can even do that. Because I think there's more damage happening all the time, so I can afford some less chance and more damage, because when it's damage over time it keeps proccing, and when I keep spamming those, you can see how many of those are on the ground, and all of those are proccing the boss for 1, 2, 3 million every now and then. So lesser relic first, and maybe I can try another one. Okay, and it's a Nurgle. Perfect, so we can see against the same type of enemies. Only this time there won't be exploding enemies and I won't have to be extra careful. And if you group them up, you keep regenerating energy. Move, move, move! Yeah, should have moved. But yeah, it seems that like the damage is good. And the damage seems pretty nice. Even for Chaos 7. But why did I die? I didn't even see myself getting hit. No, no. I didn't see myself getting hit, so what the fuck hit me? Maybe it was the puke on the ground. Can't explain it otherwise. What could have killed me? Okay. And just saw 7 million from a whitening. Move.
Incredible build.
Fuck. Hey Bruno Pereira. welcome dude. Nice to see you here. Hope you're liking this. It's incredible build, but I'm not the best at playing it as usual. I keep standing in the damage instead of staying away from it. I guess there's multiple ways to play it, but the main damage comes from this spamming. And you can just spam it and let them keep getting damage for like up to 1, 2, 3 million or whatever. And if you, as long as you're close to the enemy, not too far, it's gonna take that extra damage. And it's gonna get hit by the, what's its name? Phoenix Herald? Phoenix Herald, yeah. And mind you, this can be improved, and all the accessories can be improved for something else. And something better. But yeah, I think this is fun. This is fun, fine, and viable for Chaos 7. But what we need to test is the boss fight, because the boss fight is the hard part. Those are the easy ones. But I'm definitely liking it. And if anyone wants to play together, let me know and I can help you level up outs or just farm some stuff on harder difficulties. $8 million, okay. 8 million is not a bad hit. I think it was the whitening that did the 8 million though, the one from my set. I need to test how much damage I can get from this bread fire. Was it called ethereal bread? It's weird how if I don't have the heroic it's called bread to fire, but when it's the heroic it's ethereal bread. It's very weird. Like the basic version I've seen it called bread to fire on my screen. Gonna regenerate some energy before the boss, because I think it's coming soon. $3 million with this, not too bad, but not too good. Yeah, the main damage seems to be coming from the whitening and from, of course, the marks I leave on the ground. And the best thing about this build is the mobility. If you use it well and just hit and run and stay in a decent distance, that still gives them extra damage taken, but also protects you from their AoEs and whatever. So I need to kill those healers. I think I killed them all. And he's in a very bad spot where I can't see AoEs if he uses any. I don't like him standing there. Come on, boss, move away. Not boss, but elite. He's just right behind the obstacle, and I can't see if he casts something in his feet. I can't see it. But it's definitely not as strong as the melee setup, but it is an alternative. It is an alternative. I can already go ahead and kill the keeper, I guess. Let's kill the healers first, because they're gonna be trouble if they heal the boss. We're in trouble now, because there's a lot of them stacked up. Okay, that almost got me. He keeps doing that in his feet, because I attack him up close. This tentacle coming from the ground. Okay. Alright, this one's done. Now it's for the boss, and I don't have a potion ready. I'm just gonna start him without that. We did get a Jabber Sword, so slightly easier than the previous one I did in Chaos 6. Still can one-shot me with certain things if I'm not careful though. But yeah, it does work fine. It does work fine. It's exactly what I expected. Me just being the hit and run kinda playstyle with this build. Get those marks in his feet and let him take damage and then bail out. Regain some energy. You can leave the blinding light in his feet for extra damage over time. And if you have energy, you can even damage him from afar with Ethereal Breath or Breath of Fire, whatever you've got. So yeah, it did Chaos 7. So totally viable. Not as strong as the Phantom Blade together with Dragon Tamer, but it is an extra set you can try and make a build around. So it's not just the Dragon Tamer. And for farming you can always go the crit way. For a bit more damage you can go the extra damage over time way. What I want to try is, instead of damage over time, later I will try this with full red and green combo, which would be flat damage and HP. So basically those blessings I'm using here, but on this gear would be the next thing I'm trying. But I think the damage over time works well. Next off, I'm gonna try a map with the setup for instead of Soulfire, I'm gonna use Rift Eater just to see how it is with the Rift Eater. And do I have a better one? Also, Blade of Instability is worth testing as well. Although I don't have one with cooldown. Oh, this one is with cooldown reduction. and also damage over time. This one was giving me damage over time, that's why I thought it's better than the Rift Eater, but we'll see. Can I bless this, or am I out of gems? I have to exchange some gems for green ones in case I die. I'm expecting to die while testing stuff. A bit of this, and a bit of this, and a bit of this. Okay, I can die and resurrect with gems now. So let's start this map and see how it will be. And again, if anyone needs some help or needs some junk gear that I don't need, some spare green items, I've been saving some stuff. Although it is fun to find the gear yourself in this game, indeed. Now it is. Before it wasn't. Before they bumped the drop rates, it was anything but fun to try and get them. There should be a chest here. Let's go and check if it's the big one. I think with removing the other weapon, the damage is a bit less. I'm still gonna have to check if I'm seeing bigger crits with this or not. I think I was seeing up to 7-8 million before. It's very hard to see where he's attacking when there's so many of them though. Fuck. Okay. Ah, I let him hit me. Damn, I thought he got stunned. Because I used my Blinding Light to stun him. Like, with Ring of Resonance. Yeah, I let him hit me. It was my bad for believing he got stunned. So this seems fine with the orbs that are getting summoned from the Rift Eater. What was the condition? Hitting or critting? Critting with a magic spell. So this is a magic spell by itself, so it always has a chance to do it. Other things that are magic would be this and this. This actually is magic and fire. This is not magic, but it is fun to have it. So this is magic, this is magic, this and this are fire. And I like it so I can have some fire to proc this arcane binding. Another thing you can try is instead of the fire etheric vortex, you can try and use this one. This makes the enemies take 25% extra damage while inside the vortex. It's very good for bosses. It's gonna be less burning and damage over time, which means you won't have more enemies burning around you for Akshi Mastery, and it's see, the burning version is better when you use Soul Fire, because you have Soul Fire and then you have Akshi Mastery. That's why you might want the burning version. But if you're using something like the Rift Eater or the Blade of Instability, this is not bad. It's not bad at all. It's smaller. The dome is smaller, definitely, so good enough for bosses though. You can still make sure that the boss is in the dome without much trouble. Oh fuck, fuck, fuck. Yeah, this happens. This happens. I teleport right when the enemy is attacking right in front of it. It's pretty hard to see all the enemies in the middle of the combat though, to see all their animations and everything. But he was swinging his sword and I teleported where he was swinging. 7 million. So this still does 7 million, even with the other weapon. I'm wondering how much damage the orbs can do. Those Rift Eater orbs. And whether it makes up for the damage lost when not using Soul Fire. After this I'm gonna do another Chaos 7 map with the Blade of Instability, just to see if it will be better. Testing the damage over time of Ethereal Breath, just doing some testing here. Let's see how much this skill can do then. Can he do like 1 million or so? He's doing up to 500,000, but it's hard to tell whether it's just from this skill. I do see 200 and something thousand that are definitely from the God skill. But I don't think it can crit maybe, because I haven't seen it crit now. Definitely it's hard to tell which damage is from which skill. Ah, move. And you can even leave a trail, and if an enemy is following you, they can keep getting inside the trail. That's another way. I just thought of just doing something like this and letting him come to me if he's an enemy that follows. Okay, let's go find the boss. Boss should be here. Chaosbane, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of enemies. Is it portals? No, it's no portals. It's just the boss itself made summoning a lot of the little guys. I got hit. I'm gonna have to kite for a bit until I can heal up. Ah, fuck! I ran out of energy because I stopped hitting. Okay. But yeah, I shouldn't let him hit me, and it's all about mobility, and I'm not the best at being focused on that part. But it's doable, even with this weapon, with this setup, it seemed doable. As long as someone uses the build well. Like, he has long animation that tells you that he's gonna do a hit. And as long as you pay attention to that one, I mean, every boss is kind of like that. Whether it's leaning to the sides of the Jabber's fight and the Mutilite, or this one putting his hand up. And I have to remember to keep using my energy generator when he's stunned and when I'm next to him. Just now I just let him hit me by accident. No, 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 don't hit me. So close to killing him. Should play a bit safer now. Okay. Hit and run, hit and run. Alright, that should do it. One more burst. Okay, good. Next off is the Blade of Instability as a test, to see how it works. Okay, let's sell this junk that I've accidentally picked up. So, Blade of Instability, where was it? The one I blessed, this one. And this one had damage over time and HP. Again, I'm gonna go for a lesser one. When we remain static, we lose health every second. Alright, let's try it. So today I learned that when using counterattack damage on the summoner build, it's not as good as using flat damage blessings. But it is also an option, just not as good of an option. Definitely not the suggested one, and with this build I've learned that it can be okay when we stack damage over time. I will see how it could be when I stack damage and enhancements maybe tomorrow, because for now I'm gonna need to farm some more blessings to be able to test that. still think the Soul Fire might have been the best damage-wise for the setup. It does look like with the Soul Fire I was doing more damage, and the enemies were dying quicker. I'm just gonna push it towards the boss. As I go, enough enemies would die on the way to the boss. Wait, I think something in my browser started. Never mind. I was hearing some voices from my browser. It could have been something else. Yeah, it could have been just my character's voice, but for a moment I thought my browser started because I keep the Paladin stream open to farm mixer coins that way. And I thought it got unmuted again. Alright, let's farm some energy quickly, just a few hits. Okay, that should do it. I think he's maybe here. Yeah. Okay, I can see he's gonna do tail whip. So you gotta be careful when spamming jump, blink jumps on him. Gotta be careful with those, and not just him, with anyone. You gotta be careful with those marks on the ground that do damage over time, because they're very dangerous. If they stack up 2 or 3 of those in the same place, you're gonna be dead in seconds. And again, remember to do some basic attacks to gain energy every now and then. It definitely is something worth testing and experimenting with. Not sure whether the flat damage would be better than the damage over time, but at least the damage over time is an option for a Chaos 7 build for now. And bosses that have bigger hitbox, like the 4-legged ones, should be a bit better because you can just not stay in one place and just go around it. No. Okay. Alright, and he's done. So, another viable Chaos 7 build. And tomorrow I'm gonna try and upload it. It's good, it's definitely fast. Not as fast damage wise, but fast when it comes to moving around the map as opposed to the melee setup. I don't see this pushing Chaos 8, but maybe it would be able to if I get a green good Phoenix Herald, and if I get better Kane's Fury Ring and better Ring of Hotek pants and maybe an amulet, it would be fine. This one here has damage and damage over time and crit damage and armor and HP, which is probably all you need. Even energy. Even energy on this build, unlike other builds, you do want energy or cost reduction somewhere in the armors. So this one is nice. Armor, health, energy cost reduction. The counterattack damage is a waste, so here something would have been great to replace that. Here another counterattack damage that's wasted. Wood quality wasted. Resistance to damage over time would probably be good here, because we often get hit by damage over time while spamming this in a boss, and the boss does those circles, so resistance to damage over time I think for this build would actually be a good synergy. So this is what the skills are. If someone that's watching is wondering what I've placed, Quake Shield Mastered, Health Restored as we use energy. So if you want to be healing more, then avoid cost reduction. But this would mean that you would have less uptime for step between worlds. But at least you would be healing more. Currently, I only use 6 energy. So that's not gonna heal me a lot. It's not gonna heal me by a lot at all. Then this one, Quake Mastery Superior Extra Energy Regeneration. You could try and use another version of it, but I don't think this one is worth it. But it is nice to be able to slow enemies if you want to. Then here I'm using this one, needless to say why, crit chance for all the burning enemies, and with the scepter we're using it's amazing. This one, consuming energy, has a chance to reduce any current cooldowns. It's pretty nice to make sure we can spam this or this more often, even this, while we're using step between words, we're consuming energy and proccing this. Using a spell with cooldown has a chance to regenerate energy also, so it's not bad. And this one, burning enemies take more magical damage, is pretty good synergy, because we're always burning the enemies we're teleported around. And the magical damage of this is getting improved. And this one, dealing magical damage increases fire and vice versa. Again, another synergy thanks to the Phoenix Herald. I still think the Rift Eater is the not the Rift Eater, but the Soulfire is the better option out of all the options we can get for the dagger, for the sword. So I'm wondering what else to experiment with. Oh yeah, one of my viewers wanted me to experiment with a build for Bragi. I did experiment a few days ago with some similar build, but let's see the way he set it up whether it would be fine on my Everpeak set. He wanted me to test it with the counter-attack damage build, because before I tested this setup with Grimnir's Bellows and the other new god skill, but I didn't test it with counter-attack based crit damage. So I will test it again. I will revisit this with what he suggested. So basically his suggestion was, first of all, am I using the right set? Yes, I'm using the... I'm using the challenge crest. And he was suggesting to use it with the Everpeak. Using with the Everpeak, which is fine. I can just transfer those things here. No, not here, here. So what he suggested was, I'm gonna quickly go to my Discord to check what exactly he was doing. I think he was taking the superior instead of the mastered versions of Grimnir's Bellows and the other new god skill for Bragi. So let's see Costel, what he placed, and why the spoiler on the images. So he stopped over there. Let's see his setup. If it's anything that he stumbled upon that's fun. So I think he stopped here. Grimnir's Bellow mastered, was it? Yeah, mastered Grimnir's Bellow, and then he took all that here, that cooldown reduction, and then on the other side he stopped here for the counter attack damage. Not bad choice. He's missing this one though. And on the other side, let's see what he took. On the other side, he just took the invulnerability, which is fine. The invulnerability is fine. So he's not gonna have much crit hit damage, but it's still nice. 715, it's not a bad choice. And that's with half of my gear being with half of my gear is with that setup, with counter attack. The other half is with damage and HP. So I will test it. First of all, what did he remove? I'm assuming he removed Code to Oath. And he removed Avenging Charge maybe? Let me check what he used as his skills. I think he's gonna have problems with skill points not being enough. The way he wanted to use those god skills, he wanted to use this one and he wanted to use this one, and he's gonna have trouble probably with this setup, but I'm gonna test his setup to see how it is. First of all, which one was that? That was the buff, and that one was the running one, okay. And skills wise, he did have the fighting spirit, which is 18 points. And Eternal Grudge Superior, he had it, he had Deep Gashes, and he also had Dead Bow, so kind of like mine. So I guess I didn't need to change much. I will try it, but first of all I'm gonna try it on Chaos 6, not on Chaos 7. If it sucks on Chaos 6, I'm not gonna even bother for Chaos 7. Rage and Inflict Bleeding. The problem is the cooldown reduction. This suffers from shit cooldown reduction. This is 3 seconds, this is 12 seconds. Then we have 38 here, 22 here. I'm just not seeing this as something that would be fine. Skill cooldowns increase for all players, no thanks. Enemies deal extra poison damage and extra 30% damage. That's gonna just melt me. It keeps repeating the exact same shit. Why does it keep giving me Swanesh? There we go. This is fine. This is actually a very good map for farming fragments, because we have the insects and we have the resurrecting skeletons. That means if you find a good hotspot of resurrecting skeletons, and then at the same time some insects are spawning while you have your stuff going. Well, the damage is kind of very bad. Kind of very bad damage. And the cooldown is bad, but maybe it will be okay if I get the gear with better cooldown, like accessories with better cooldown. But it's such a long cooldown. So currently the damage I'm doing and everything that's happening is not because of the build, but because of my gear. Because of the 2 good axes I'm stacking up. But it is a fun setup nevertheless. Just I think on Chaos 7 bosses it's not gonna cut it. Definitely not too bad, but it's whacking. But at least I'm seeing with my setup I'm seeing up to 18 million hits, so it's not so bad. You probably can do Chaos 7 just kind of slow and with a lot of caution. And I think one of the god skills is unnecessary, like this god skill, where was it? Blood of the Mountain. I think this is the one that definitely is unnecessary. Instead of that, what I would do is... Where was Bird of the Mountain? What I think would be the better option is... Even if he wants to use his version, instead of going 1, 2, 3 here, he's better off going 1, 2, 3 here, because 50% counterattack damage will give him more critical hit damage than removing those and going here. So that actually frees up 6 points. And where is Bird of the Mountain mastered? I want to see where that is located. Maybe trying a setup with that won't be a bad idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I want to see if I can free up some cooldown. I can do this. And see, I immediately got 8 points of cooldown. Much better that way. And what else can I get? Now it's either HP or armor or just some basic stuff. I mean, I can still get this skill and play with it. So what was it? This. Fighting spirit superior this time, freeing 6 points. And oh no, I didn't need unyielding. This setup, I'm not sure why he decided with the Everpeak set. For the immunity to control effects maybe, but I think this would be better off with the Undefeated. I'm actually gonna try this later with the Undefeated to see how much I can squeeze out of this setup. But yeah, definitely he was. I think with the other way he suggested with going all the way to here, this was 716%. Now with this I have got 746%. And yeah, I've opened up some extra 8% cooldown. But as I said, I want to try it with some... I want to try it with better gear, with better cooldown. Like this one with cooldown, this one with cooldown, and this one with cooldown, together with crit chance would be what I want as a min-maxed setup. Problem would be the damn, what's its name, the Ring of Resonance. It's just 2 RNG and it's very limited, because once you complete a certain invasion rank, that's it. You can't redo the same rank. There's no option to reset invasion progress or just to reset a certain rank. So you can try and do it again. But yeah, actually, thanks Kostel for telling me to try a setup with this one again. Because I do think I managed to kind of find a way to include those skills into a build, but maybe again this one seems kind of unnecessary, and code to oath might be the better option there. But at least I'm trying something that I left on the back burner for quite some time. I was planning on revisiting some of those new god skills, but is this a healer? Oh no, it was an archer. Okay, Chaos 7 would be a bit of a tricky part with this though. Let's go grab the... Okay. This is with half of the gear in counterattack and the other half in... And the other half in what's its name, in flat damage and HP. What I do believe is, it's always, not always, but I think it would be better if I only have like 2 or 3 pieces with counterattack damage blessings. That's what I'm gonna try. Let's change the gauntlets. I think those are, yeah, those are already changed to be flat damage. Okay, I'm gonna change the axe because I can keep switching it. So the axe is the first one I'm gonna change to be, instead of counterattack, to be flat damage. Oh, wrong cover here. That would put me at 6 flat damage and 4 counterattack damage. Please be a good roll. It gave me such a shitty roll, really. Did I use a god token? I'm gonna try again. I probably didn't use a god token, because I don't think I could get something this low. Oh no, never mind, I can get something this low even with a god token. Again, such a low roll. Come on, don't throw me, fucking game. I want something over 2000, over 4300 flat damage. Alright, this is fine. That's acceptable. Acceptable, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now it's time to do the gauntlets to have 7. It's gonna be 7 and 3. 3 counterattacks. So I'm gonna lose some crit damage, but I'm gonna get some flat damage, and I think overall it will be the better option. Nice. Let's go Chaos 7 just to test. And before entering, I'm gonna do lesser, just to make sure I don't have to roll much. I'm gonna quickly do a BRB for a toilet break to take a piss, but I'm gonna do what, let's say 90 seconds as usual. Just let me start the BRB screen first. Come on. Okay, out and tap doesn't wanna work, what? Okay, there we go. So I'm starting the BRB screen, and if you're watching on Twitch, I can even start some ads for you, so you're not watching at a boring BRB screen. But unfortunately, I cannot queue the ads on other platforms. So 90-second break, BRB. Alright, I'm back. Let's bring back the gameplay. So, just making sure all the overlays can be seen, just a moment. I've been having some problems with the game, by the way, when it comes to using too much GPU. I think after this update, the game started using too much GPU. Like at the moment it's using 91% of my GPU, and then I have my streaming software using 4.6, so I'm not sure what, but this new expansion fucked up something, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm gonna report it in the official game forums, but I'm using 1066 GB GPU. This game, with the current graphics options I've got, should not be fucking using all my GPU. Let's see if I disable all this stuff, whether it would change. I mean, it's not like it's a good card, but it's only 3 years old, and it's an isometric game. It shouldn't be that heavy on the GPU. Now it's using again 90% GPU usage, so I really have no idea why this game is doing this to me. It wasn't like that before the Tomb Kings update, so whatever happened, it must be this. Let's try online game, by the way. So let's try it. Chaos 7, this build. Float or sink. Let's see if it can float or whether it would sink. If it sinks, what I'll do is I'll try it on... I'm gonna try it with the undefeated set. Because with the undefeated set, even a crappy build or mediocre build would get a little bit more out of the setup. Especially this one being catered towards fire and everything. Not towards fire, towards rage and fire. Grimnir would also be a good option to test with this configuration, so I will try it with the different sets. I will be trying it with all the different sets that I've got as flat damage and stuff. I did try it before with damage over time based stuff, but Fighting Spirit definitely is the MVP passive of the new God skills trees for Bragi. And I really want to get more gear for the last song set, because the last song set is the one I haven't farmed so much out of in regards to greens. And I think there might be some interesting setups to try with the last song. But since I'm whacking Last Bastion on this setup, I think instead of having this burning skill, instead of this, I would suggest Last Bastion. Oh, wait, my game was open to the public, fuck. I didn't know I can die when the game is open to the public. Alright, I'm gonna close it then, I want a private game. Come on. Shit, now I can't pose it. Okay, let's try and kill the enemy so I can pose and change some settings. Damn, they just keep coming. Don't have a breathing room. Oh no, it's private now. So it's private, but... Okay, now I can do it. That's fine. Now I can pause. So... I was saying that Last Bastion would be preferred. And I'm not sure what would be the better thing to remove, Grimnir's Bellow or Bird of the Mountain. Also, since I have 7 points, I do whack some crit chance. This is physical, not fire. This is such a useless skill now, knowing that you can get things like Fighting Spirit. So if that was 50% and this was 1000% and this was 50%, 500%, so 500,000 would make it on equal terms with Fighting Spirit. This also needs to be probably reworked, but what I think is they're gonna nerf this. They're gonna just make this 40.1 instead of 400. And this one would be 53.4, this one would be 66.8. So I think they would just nerf this, but they shouldn't. This is what allows Bragi to actually be strong at the moment. Compared to per se Volunteer with the melee setup, this is the Bragi version. Just checking what other things would be viable, but... Trail of Blood would be fine. Let's try... Trail of Blood would be fine because this makes some bleeding. Which one was it? This one. But bleeding enemies stop bleeding and take extra fire damage, so never mind. So yeah, I do believe with the challenge set it would be good, but this build seems to be a setup that again would work with any set. What about the Grimnir? Was it in general fire damage increased? Oh no, just the aura. The aura deals more damage the lower the player's health, but all damage from fire skills is increased. And it's gonna be... This is here I need the fire one. So this is the one fire skill. Yeah, I will try it with the Grimnir set. Definitely worth testing with the Grimnir set. But I still think Wasp Bastion is pretty much needed. Get that extra HP for Chaos 7 on bosses to avoid getting one shot by every hit. Gives you some extra breathing room. And why is this even? Chance to stun and taunt. For a few seconds movement speed is increased. All hit generate rage and inflict bleeding. I think I can get enough rage and enough bleeding even without this skill if I do as normally with Wasp Bastion. But it's not bad. I'm smelling a one-shot coming here. And without Wasp Bastion, I don't see this surviving on a boss. Yeah. So basically I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna remove the bevel and add Wasp Bastion. And here you can use the counter attack one or you can use the flat damage. I decided to try and play with the flat damage for a while. Yeah, this should do it. This should do it. Using Wasp Bastion instead of the bevel. That means I don't need the points here. I don't need the points here, and all those points I can invest into something else. $22 points. That's a lot of points that I've saved up. But I did have the cooldown reduction before, this one and this one. This is how much I've got. If I were to take this counterattack damage, then I would need to invest a few more points to make up for the cooldown reduction. And I still have 11 points, which I can push all the way through there. And I still have 4 points. 4 points can give me some extra HP maybe. Or they can give me some extra crit damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. 60% crit damage. That's an option. Or I can get extra flat damage for the price of cooldown reduction, and then unfortunately the cooldown would suffer, but I can get extra crit damage. Let's see. Now instead of 8% cooldown reduction from god skills, I've got 3%. No, I can do that, just to use all the points. No, I wanted to dodge. Come on, I was trying to dodge. Why was I stuck? I couldn't move. I was pressing number 3 multiple times and it just didn't work. And yeah, I'm supposed to have more damage like that with this setup. No. Yeah, so far trouble on Chaos 7. Maybe it's the boss being a bit of a counter. Maybe I'm not playing it well. And this boss has something which I think is when we attack it frontally, it has shit tons of damage reduction if I attack him frontally. You can see I'm not doing even 1,000,000 damage. Because this seems to be the worst boss to try new stuff on. I'm gonna need to do another map to confirm whether this is fine. Because just now just did 18 million, but earlier I couldn't even do 1 million. And this boss, it's hard to tell. What the game needs is here some buff icons that I can pause and hover over to see what the buff of the boss is. So when he has some damage reduction on it, I wanna know about it from an icon, something that's telling me. This game really lacks transparency regarding certain effects and stuff. They did add this one for us, the status. Here I can see stuff that I'm benefiting from. And that's nice. It is nice to see things like those.
Nothing can stop you.
24, 25 million, 24.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
No, so close.
Nothing can stop you.
What's the map? Regularly crawling insects. Why did I earlier have 3000 HP? I had 300,000 HP for a while. Not sure what gave me HP. It's not this. Something must have given me some extra HP because I did have 300,000 just a few minutes ago before I died. Move, move. Okay, got him. So it's not so bad, but it's not like something better than the other braggy build I've posted, but I could probably do a build video for this. I'm just gonna keep testing tonight different variations and to see which set is the better. My guess is, as always, strongest set for this would be the challenge set. I think with the challenge I can get 30, 40, 50 million crits. I did see close to 30 here, like 26, 7, 8. Maybe there was 30 that I've missed, but mind you, at the moment I'm using 7 pieces flat damage, 3 pieces counter-attack damage. And I think it's actually, it gave me better damage than the one before. Than when I was using 5, 4, or 5, 5 or 6, 4. So this was okay. Mind you, I did rework the god skills and removed Grimnir's Beowulf for Last Bastion. It is just healing that you definitely want. An extra HP. Things that we can probably remove is this counter attack damage for the cooldown to be more spammy. But keep this one. And if I remove those 3 points, I can put them over here. So it's 830 crit damage with that. So let's do it how it was before. Was it all the way here? Here. This one. So this is 768 from 830. Not so bad. So let's say I lost 60 crit damage, but I can actually get 70 crit damage. So I'm actually winning 7% crit damage that way. Winning 7% crit damage and losing 8% energy, but winning 5% cooldown reduction, which is much more useful. And I still have 2 points to spare, where did I spend them before? Can't remember where I spent those other 2 points. Oh yeah, I had those 2 points here, never mind. So that's exactly how it is. So now it's time to change sets. Do I want to try Grimnir first? Let's try Grimnir first. I'm gonna leave the challenge for last, for dessert. This Grimnir set at the moment is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of damage, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 3 pieces counter attack. So it's the same as earlier when I was testing on Everpeak. 7 pieces flat damage and 3 pieces counter attack damage. The build slightly changed. We're using physical Strike of the Anvil again, but not heroic. But we have Code to Oath here. And this changes things. This makes it so that I'm not gonna be using the other skill, maybe the bellows. I mean, there's a way of using it with without Avenging Charge Superior. Or without Ancestor's Gift, but I think Ancestor's Gift is just suicide if I don't use it. I'm gonna try without Wasp Bastion and see how it will work. Where is that God skill now? First of all, I want to change the God skills here to match the ones from earlier. Now where did it go? Here. This one has a little less counter attack in the setup, but it's just like 3-4 crit damage less, so I wanna see how big this healing can go. 21%. That would be when I use this skill. Damn, need more legendary ranks to get some legendary healing. So let's try Chaos 7 with this setup, see how it will be. Pools of Blood, they really hurt on Chaos 7. Enemy damage 10%, this we can work with, I think. I still think for this set probably it won't be as good because we have to use Heroic Code to Oath, otherwise it's wasting a Heroic skill if I don't use it. But this one I can see 8 million hits just from the fire stuff at the moment. Just from the fire stuff, seeing 8 million hits, but my HP is suffering. My HP is definitely suffering without Wasp Bastion. Because using Code to Oath without Wasp Bastion is just kind of close to suiciding myself in the game. If I don't have any sort of healing. I mean, this is supposed to heal me. It might take some adjusting. Maybe what we need is Ring That Heals. The Ring That Heals would be the perfect combo for this. I do want the Ring of Resonance, but what if I were to experiment? Where was the one with the healing? The healing ring. Was it Insulation? Insulation ring. So Insulation ring is good. And I'm gonna try and replace the Ring of Resonance, but that's 4000 flat damage I'm losing there. And that is a decent amount of flat damage and counter attack damage. At least I'm getting more counter attack damage, more HP. Wait, I'm comparing. I do have another Ring of Resonance as well, by the way, for my farming setup, but let's compare. Getting some cooldown, which is nice. Getting some crit chance, which is nice. HP. Yeah, probably it's worth sacrificing some damage. So let's bless it. If I get this crit chance, what I can do is I can get 10% damage instead of crit chance passive. Because I think I'm gonna have enough crit chance to be proccing that more than enough. And I can remove the 5% crit chance passive and get 10% damage passive. Such a low roll. Terribly low roll. So losing the Ring of Resonance. And my crit chance now is 38.4. So the Ring of Resonance did have some crit chance on itself as well. 8.1. This one was 7.9. Okay, so actually was some crit chance. Alternatively, I can try and remove Mountain Pendant, but that's gonna be losing me a lot of cooldowns, and what I can try is the enemies nearby take extra damage. Why does he have far off enemies instead of nearby enemies take extra damage? It just makes no sense. God skills deal more damage would increase the damage of this one, and for farming this would be fine. For speedrunning you would actually wanna use similar setup to this one, and just using Avenging Charge, Wood of the Mountain, and Endless Slaughter would increase by 50% the damage of this. This is getting boosted by this by 50% because of the fire skill. So why is this amulet of the... Wait, that's mage, that's a mage item. So I can't equip it, it's a mage item that I've accidentally picked up. Heals when God skill is used. I do have 2 God skills, this is not a bad one, but yeah, at the moment I don't have a better option. Those are also mage items which I've picked up from the warehouse when sorting my inventory. Alright, I'm gonna go with this for now. Yeah, I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it. Without Last Bastion, just not a good fit for this set. So one set for which this is not a good fit is the set with the heroic call to out, I guess. I can still try and not use it, but then that's a waste of skill points. I will do a test though. I wanna see how much damage I can get this god skill to do with Endless Slaughter Amulet. As you can see, it dealt up to 8 million on the burning. So I'm gonna wait how many more seconds? A few more seconds. Alright, now. This one was damage, but a lot of damage. Shit tons of damage. Now I need... Where was it? Endless Slaughter. It's definitely crappy rolls. Definitely crappy rolls, but I'd rather bless it now and test it. I'm assuming it can go to like 10-11 million damage maybe. Not that bad of a roll. So we're losing crit chance this time around. Losing I'm not gonna change this yet, because now this crit chance is actually really needed. 9 million. I need more enemies around me, so that was a bad test with just few enemies. Need more enemies to proc my other stuff. How is my cooldown reduction? 45. That's actually a good one. Still want it to be around 50 though. What I want is this one to have basic 2 seconds. The moment I think it's not 2 second basic. Without all the procs and rage and everything. And now I don't stun the enemies as much without the Ring of Resonance. I will try something. I'll try instead of Fiery Ring of Tori to use the Ring of Resonance that I had before. Okay, I'm not seeing good hits. I'm not seeing good hits at all. And if I want to do a lot of damage with this, I have to be very static, and I'm opening myself up for attacks from various sources, and you see what happens then. Well, yeah, the hits are pretty low. I still think though with... oh, did I just do 52 million just now? Yeah, as I said, 12 million on the burning. 12 million on the burning, like I believe it would be between 10 and 12 and 13. I have to pay with money this time. Last Bastion is the way to go though. I don't like builds without it. Just too squishy without it, and the energy gain is kind of bad without it. So challenger set would be fine. I will check the last song set, but the last song probably won't be good as well. Cause this one is bleeding enemies stop bleeding but take extra fire damage. And deep gashes makes bleeding dealing more damage. The superior one, the heroic one of the last song set. Alright, the boss is over there. Let's kill the enemies with the banners and everything before the boss. And let's see how this set performs with this build. No, I just dodged right into his attack. Shit. Running out of stuff. Fuck, I tried to dodge it. Bullshit.
Nothing can stop you.
Why do I keep taking... Alright, that's some burning, some nasty burning going on there.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Shit, 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 I'm dead, I'm dead.
Nothing can stop you.
No! This was so fucking close. I got greedy to kill it and now this is how a game punishes me. This was such a close fight.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
No, no. No. Down, boy.
Nothing can stop you.
Down. Alright, let's try and survive. Just a little longer. Just a little longer.
Nothing can stop you.
There we go. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it can do Chaos 7 on some mods. In some cases, with using this queue, but this queue is just basically not the main thing. It's not something that's gonna be suggested for pushing. But I can see this being very great for speedrunning. If you replace the heroic code to Oath with maybe Wild Bastion and still use it on Grimnir, or maybe replace what could be replaced. Maybe the Ancestor's Gift could be replaced, but for speedrunning you want that to be able to run with this without consuming energy. And this one would also help. So maybe, yeah, for speedrunning I can see Grimnir build without Code to Oath being an interesting combination. Just for speedrunning on Chaos 5 or 6. And having things like, instead of the Ring of Resonance, where was it? The God skills deal extra damage. Oh no, this one is God skills deal extra damage. There was another ring that gave you damage on crit, I think. Damage on crit. This one might be nice for speed running. Okay, now I need to throw something. Then what do I throw? I've picked up something I should not have somewhere out there. I don't need this. Or this. Grudge holder, another grudge holder. I already have 2 more in the warehouse. This one though is cooldown reduction and crit chance and flat damage and counterattack damage. If only this grudge holder only gives 500 counterattack, and you can see now I'm gonna use Last Bastion to get some rage to show you that the grudge holder is broken. Oh, come on. So I've got 5 rage and the grudge holder is supposed to give me more. So this is a broken item. It only gives 500 counterattack damage regardless how much rage you've got. Even with 20 rage it would still be the same. Just wanted to show it. So this would be interesting later to include into a setup. Let's leave and let's see. The last song probably is not good with this setup as well. Last song, what was the bonus? Yeah, heroic deep gashes. So I'm saving 12 points only. Not I will try though, I will try it. Just gotta do this. Redo the god skills. This one is not oh yeah, actually it is full counterattack. It is fully counterattack damage made, so it's gonna be a bit weaker because it's gonna be 5 and 5 instead of 7 and 3. And I don't have to use Code to Oath, which means I don't need to use the Insulation Ring. And I can use the Fiery Ring of Tori maybe for some cooldown. I'm gonna put this one there. This one here. Wait. Something doesn't feel right. Something does not feel right. Let's check. 8, 12, 12. Oh, 12, but that doesn't feel right. Makes sense. I'm missing something. I'm not sure what. Ah, yeah. The potion. So I've got 2 options. One would be flat damage, the other one would be counterattack damage. I think the flat damage is the better option though. Crit chance, how's my crit chance? 32, not so bad. And yeah, we're good to go now. Lesser, let's not go sandstorms, just Nurgle should be fine. Let's do Nurgle. And the last thing I would try would be the other set, the challenge set. This would be the last one I'm gonna try. So here, mind you, I've got 2 pieces extra with counter attack instead of flat damage, and since I don't have the gems to currently bless it, unless I do some trading, which I can. I just forgot about this, just remembered I could have done it in the town. I forgot the damage over time of this enemy is very dangerous up close. Shit. More money lost. I have to spend more hours farming it afterwards. Yeah, this fucking poison field. Fucking poison field again! The damn poison trail. Alright, let's do something. I'm gonna change some gear. I'm not gonna continue with this one, and I'm gonna change some blessings. Now, I will need something like this would be fine. The things that give me the least amount of counter-attack damage is what I'll change. This one gives me 2251. This is one of the 2 that's gonna change. This was a very good row, and which else gives me a small amount. 2486, 2464, 2431, 2407. The lowest one is the 2407. That's a good thing. If the lowest one is the 2407. Let's start now. More fat damage equals bigger crits. Also, God's Kills deal more damage is not needed anymore. Nearby enemies take more damage would have been nice if I had it. But we have far off enemies. I'm not sure why on Vragi it's far off enemies take more damage. Is it a typo? Or is it really far off enemies take more damage? Yeah, the damage is very bad. And it's supposed to be good because what it says is that bleeding enemies stop bleeding but take extra fire, and this extra fire should benefit from this extra 100%. Yeah, I don't think it's even worth testing all the way to the end of this run. I could tell just from the mobs it's not worth it. What's my cooldown reduction here? 35, wow. What's whacking cooldown reduction? It just ends up hurting the damage. This thing ends up hurting the damage because we can't get some of the bonuses. But this is not one of the good sets anyways. It's probably one of the least strong sets. More cooldown reduction, probably it would have been fine. Fuck, I got stuck. Not enough energy to escape. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna even bother doing the boss on this setup. I'm just gonna change to the challenger set to see how strong it would be. Let's leave the zone before I end wasting more money. Removing, switching to this. I'm gonna do the same thing here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of counterattack stuff at the moment. Not the way I would prefer, but it's fine. It's better than having barely any. Okay, this might work. Oh, I forgot the skills. I forgot the skills. This is using the counter-attack potion instead of the damage potion. Why is this one's HP so low? Even with this one it's only 244.
Nothing can stop you.
Wait, I'm missing this skill.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Wait, this deals damage? Oh, I think it was this one that actually dealt the damage. And it was not a bad damage, it was like 9 million or whatever. Yeah, I'm seeing better damage with this. With this set, as expected. I knew that this would give me more damage even on the damage over time thing. It's just the best set for now for Bragi, damage wise. For most builds. It's not as strong as the other setup, but it is an alternative, I guess. Works well with this set, works well with Everpeak, not suggested with the Grimnir unless you wanna use it for speed farming by removing the Coat Vault, which is heroic, so that's a lot of stuff was there. That's 12 points. 12 skill points lost.
Nothing can stop you.
Although if you're speed farming, Wasp Bastion is good, but it's not a must-have if you're speed farming easier difficulties. But it does help with the energy, so you can keep running, keep spamming, charging avenging charge.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Okay, let's finish the boss soon.
Nothing can stop you.
That was dangerously close to hitting me.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Shit, my face is itchy. Okay, never mind. Scratched it. My cheek was feeling itchy. Not sure if there's any superstition for when your cheek is itchy, like the one for when your hands are itchy, having to give money or get money, depending on which hand. Not one to be superstitious myself.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
This is how I might end up getting myself killed. Okay.
Nothing can stop you.
Yeah, okay. I tested setups that use this damage over time, and it does add up to some okay damage every now and then. So it's not so bad. It's not so bad as an alternative to using Code to Oath or something else there. It is okay. What could work is a build that uses the Whirlwind of Blades. Together with this but not the Whirlwind of Blades, but that one, the one with the secondary fire. I want to figure out some sort of a setup like that, so I'm gonna go to the Grimnir set again, maybe. Okay, let's do this and this and this and this and this. Was that Grimnir? No, this is Grimnir. Actually, Everpeak might be the better one. Okay, let's try the Everpeak. This would be a Chaos 6 test. This would be test for speed farming with Whirlwind. Okay, let's do it like that. This is needed and this is needed. Constantly bleed, probably not the best to test. I'm actually even thinking of testing it on Chaos 5 instead of Chaos 6. Because I feel that it would suck, and I would hate for it to suck on Chaos 6, because that's gonna be a lot of me dying. Come on, give me some normal modifiers on a decent biome. This game is just trolling. Okay, let's change to Chaos 5 first. Why not check a good speed farming setup? But probably I should have went for probably went for Grimnir, because that's the fire one. So again, change of armor, again, change of armor. This one is probably not used worth it, because skills with cooldown will not be used that much on this setup. Probably Strike of the Anvil not need it, I guess, if it's this one. The game just keeps trolling me. No map for orientation, enemy armor, insects, maybe this is okay.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Okay, what I'll remove is I'll remove this and I'll put this there, and then I want Vast Bastion.
Nothing can stop you. My rapier erupts.
No, that sucks. Not having the map is terrible.
Nothing can stop you.
I just don't like it. Without the map, it's just taking longer than I want it to. And I still think not was Bastion, but Code to Out is necessary even for the Grimnir. Why did they have to ruin Grimnir? Grimnir was such a good set, then they had to make it a heroic fucking Code to Out. The worst thing they could have made heroic for that. Would have been much better if they made something else heroic for this set. Like heroic Whirlwind of Blades, for example. With a lot of damage, something that could be viable. I wanna try something. It says far off enemies take extra damage. But is it actually far off enemies or is it close enemies as well? Because the other characters, on all of them it says nearby enemies take extra damage, but this is the only one that says far off enemies. If it's far off enemies, those secondary whirlwind things would actually be worth it. See, he's actually slower than his base movement speed when he's doing whirlwind. Okay, let's remove Code to Out and let's add this thing. And for energy regain, what gives me the most energy regain? So I get 4 million only from the fire aura, only from that itself I get 4 million. And look, the whirlwind deals less damage than the stupid fire aura. The whirlwind and this fire skill currently are doing like 1-2 million. So tell me, how is this this skill not a complete waste of skill points? And that is with something that increases fire damage of skills. Definitely not anything too fancy. My damn energy generator does more damage than the whirlwind. Alright. Yeah, not worth it. Not worth completing this map, and that's only Chaos 5. Definitely, every time I try whirlwind, I'm baffled how the developers balance this game, and if they even played the game with all the skills they've added, whether they just randomly decided on some numbers, swap those numbers on the skills and decide to call it a day. This is just terrible. So let's remove some of the things I had. What else do I want to try for speedrunning? I don't think we even need this for speedrunning though. I think for speedrunning it's better to just go the usual setup with Wasp Bastion. Whirlwind probably would be good if I go for an HP build, and then the lower your health, the more your damage. But this is there's another problem, as I always say, that lack of transparency. So how is this damage scaled? We don't see how much damage I've got right now. It should say etc. damage at 100% HP, etc. damage at probably the minimum if it's 10% HP. But this is the one that makes sense to be for Whirlwind, the energy cost reduction and scaling damage based off of your HP, and then getting extra cost reduction and getting things like becoming immune to control effects. But it's just not worth it investing into those things. I've tested so many things. I've already tested this and it just doesn't work. I can tell you from now to not try it. This one also is not worth it. I've tried it. It's much better to get, instead of those 40%, something else. Or those 50%. So yeah, let's try for speedrunning this setup. Instead of going for Whirlwind.
Nothing can stop you.
Hello sir at struck_TLF.
Hello RhinoPie, nice to see you in my Twitch, dude or dudette. Hope you enjoy your stay in the Struck Club, and if you have any questions or you wanna play together, let me know. We can team up. I'm currently experimenting with some things. Now I'm testing to see which build would be perfect on Bragi for speedrunning.
Nothing can stop you.
So still, the energy seems to be the problem when it comes to speedrunning. I can't run all the time. I'm testing speedrunning easy difficulties like Chaos 5, Chaos 6, just to see what the best one would be. This is Chaos 5, but I've got builds that can run Chaos 7 without much problems when played well. Just testing this on Chaos 5 to see how it would work.
Nothing can stop you.
Ah, fuck. Yeah, I should have moved. Alright, enough of this map.
Can I join on the next game?
You can join. I can go on another setup though. I can go on something strong, and I can change the difficulty. So I can make the game public. And are you on Steam? Because I can invite you if you're on Steam. But if you're not on Steam, I'm not sure whether we can even play together. What about find public game? You can try and join me. I can give you my Steam profile. Let me quickly open my Steam profile and you can add me. This is my streamer account, so I just today bought the game for my streamer account. I do have it on another account which is private, and I've been playing on that other account since the summer and streaming and making content on that. But I decided to have an account I can share with the audience, and I don't mind showing you this one. So this is my account, you can add me. And in the meantime, I'm gonna change sets and stuff, so I can take you to some easy to do content and to obliterate stuff there.
A moment.
No worries, I'm gonna switch
Sweaty,
some skills
laughing
around.
face.
I myself wanna switch some things around as well. Okay, Rhino Pie.
I send bruh.
Alright, I see it. Just a moment to go and accept it. There we go. Accepted this.
OFC take your time.
So yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I remember the name sounds familiar, and I think I remember you from when I was streaming the game back in the summer. And yeah, you can join me and let me know what you need help with. Like
Yeah.
what difficulty do you want to do?
Me too.
You're on Bragi. If you want, I can go on Elon tier, so we can have two different classes. Or I can go on Alessa. What difficulty do you want to do? Chaos 5-6. Alright, 5-6 is easy for me with this. Do you want to do invasions? I can go for invasions. I can go up to rank 19 when it comes to invasions. I can go and do some hard invasions, or we can just do regular stuff like regular. Let's do Chaos 6. Regular. I'm gonna do one map on this one, and then I'm gonna do the other stuff. Then I'm gonna go on Elon tier. So for now, a Relic Hunt, Chaos 6, Grand 1, Cinch. We got Cinch, so hope you enjoy damage over time. Damage over time is kind of nice. Meantime, let me just check my overlays. There we go. So yeah, it is definitely fun with Bragi, with this setup. Have you seen my YouTube video for Bragi that is about the counter-attack crit damage, the crit monster build from a few days ago? If you haven't, you might want to try it. Definitely need to min-max this setup though. I need to min-max some things for Bragi. Mostly the cooldown and crit chances where I'm whacking.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
So we are doing enemies becoming vulnerable for a few seconds, I think. It seems like it. Enemies becoming vulnerable for a few seconds when HP is low. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Nothing can stop you.
Right, we've unlocked the boss fight.
Nothing can stop you.
This damage over time enemy.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Alright, he's invulnerable. And he should be good to die now.
Nothing can stop you.
Ah, move, move, move. There we go.
Nothing can stop you.
I guess this way.
Nothing can stop you.
There's some chests down there, but I guess we don't really need it. It's probably gonna be one of the little chests. And I know that once, since you're playing, you can't type, so don't worry about not being able to type. It's understandable. We can talk in between the rounds. We could also go on Discord. If you don't mind your voice being heard on stream, because currently my voice meter doesn't wanna properly reroute the voices from Discord to not be heard on stream. It used to work, and then suddenly, without me changing anything, it stopped after Discord got an update or whatever. And now I just can't get it to reroute audio properly. But I used to be able before to play with my viewers without them getting hurt on stream if they didn't want to.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
And the AoE.
Nothing can stop you.
The AoE again. He keeps to.
Nothing can stop you.
There we go. Alright, this was fine.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Okay. I'm gonna go on Ewan tier now. So can I change character without kicking you out of the match? Let's see. Yeah, I probably can, but you can rejoin me. Just let me change to the mage for a moment.
Okay.
Alright, welcome to join now. This is a build I was testing out today, and it works pretty okay. And if we're gonna be doing Chaos 6, this is even better, because this build for Chaos 6 is just the perfect one. It's not... it's having difficulties with Chaos 7, but it could complete Chaos 7, and it did it earlier when I was testing this build, so...
I can't
So
join,
this is the
bruh.
speedrunning. You can join. Let me try and see what's happening. Online game. Oh, it's not public. Open game. Invite a friend. That should work. So this is my spammy build, the speedrunning build, which I managed to make today. I did that experiment. Instead of going for crit chance setup to farm, which is normally how I use this. Normally I use this with Amulet of Contempt and I bless everything for crit chance. But I decided to try and get the damage over time, and was able at the start of my stream today to... A green insatiable? No, I do not need it. I do have a few of those. It's not a bad axe, but I do prefer the Forge Heart and the Ultimate Carnage. I mean, the Insatiable probably would be interesting on builds where I do more damage over my HP. And maybe for a Whirlwind build, if I can make one that works. Every time I try a Whirlwind build, I end up just giving up because I can't get it to do enough damage. And there's the problem with the energy. The problem with the energy is big when it comes to whirlwind build. Did you die? What happened? I can't see you. How can I res you? Or is it is there no getting a player up and only them resurrecting possible? It's my first time playing with others, as I said, so still not too familiar with the multiplayer mechanics in the game. Okay, this is the Rifty build. I'm gonna upload a build video for this setup, by the way, tomorrow, for this mage setup, for everyone who's interested about something. And I'm gonna mention that you can either use it for speed farming of Chaos 6 and 5 with crit hit chance and Amulet of Contempt, or you can use it for more of a damagey setup. Not as good as a Phantom Blade heroic Dragon Tamer build, but it's still doable to push Chaos 7 with this. I also have to try it with flat damage instead of damage over time to see if it will be better. Crits for the damage over time, not bad, because I keep stacking those up and there's multiple of those per second. Oh, the butt fields are gonna get me. Yeah, the fucking butt fields. And then I ran out of energy. Oh, how did you resurrect me? That's something I have no idea about how to do. So maybe I need to click on the corpse. Okay, I'm gonna try and figure it out myself. You can see, by the way, at the moment I've got 340,000 HP on a mage. Wow, those butt pools definitely are not joking around. And another build I upload today is my version of the summoner build, and I did try it with counter-attack based damage. Like, the video doesn't use counter-attack based damage, but it's worse. Counter-attack based damage for the summoner is worse because maybe the summons don't benefit from the physical damage that I get as a result of counter-attack. So for the summoner build on Elessa, it's best to go flat damage HP, so the red-green red combo. And then the summons can do up to 20 million damage with the setup I was using, which again was not maxed out. Could have been better, could have gotten more greens and better rolls. Oh shit, I did not see this one casting the damage. So let's see how he resurrects me. Maybe he needs to click on me. I didn't see anything when he died on the ground. He somehow disappeared. Just needs to kill those first. So I guess something appears on the ground that we can click. Oh, that's the boss already. Okay. So where is he? How do I res him? And I can't see you. Okay, I'm gonna try and kill the... Oh, never mind, you rest already. Those boot pools are annoying. Alright, this one's done. Ring of Denial. I'm wondering if it gave you green as well. I did not see this one. Alright, I'm gonna have to get used to playing in a team. Because, yeah, I'm gonna have to have more awareness in regards to when an enemy is doing a skill. So now I have to drop some stuff and get this ring. Oh, where did it go? Wait, when I pick something and I drop it, it gets... Oh, thank you. It gets dropped for my team. Interesting. Never mind. I didn't know it works that way. That's a very bad way of coding the game. If I pick something with a full inventory, it gets dropped and then everyone else can pick it up. That's kind of weird. I'm gonna need to put some stuff in the warehouse, I guess. What do I want to put here? Okay, let's sell the junk. So yeah, this is not as strong as a setup on the Dragon Tamer, for example, which I'll go play now. But it is definitely fun for speeding. Oh, those are with damage over time. They're not the ones I want. Alright, I think I'm ready. Hero's armor reduces over time. quickly change something after this fight. I want to change my energy consumer.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
No. Couldn't move on time.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Nice, thanks. So I want to see if I can change something here. Maybe instead of using this I can try and use this, or... Alright, I'm just gonna use this one.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
So this definitely deals shit tons more damage, but it's less mobile.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Ah fuck, again I couldn't move. My cooldown is very bad right now. Okay, what can I do to improve my cooldown?
Nothing can stop you.
I do have the radiance and still the cooldown is bad. Still need to min-max a lot of the gear I'm using though. Fuck. That's why I hate this zone. I normally skip Act 3 and 4. Act 3 and 4 are just annoying. Annoying cancer enemies in the Act 3 and 4. If I'm speedrunning, I go for Act 2, Act 1, even Act 5 is fine. For farming some easier difficulty enemies. In here, a lot of the enemies pull you, slow you, one-shot you, even the little guys sometimes can one-shot you. Right, let's just push to the boss.
Nothing can stop you.
Enemies use their special attacks more often.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Those annoying healers.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Nothing can stop you.
So playing this game in multiplayer seems to be harder than playing it solo, because you can't predict who the enemy would attack and where his attack would go. So instead of the game being easier in a team, it ends up being harder due to the way the bosses work and the enemies work.
Nothing can stop you.
Because when I'm solo, I always know where the enemy would attack, and then I dodge in the last moment when I see the attack incoming.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
I'm definitely seeing some good damage.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
The other build is a bit better because at least with it I can dodge some more. So I'm gonna switch back to the other build. Just let's get rid of this. Less damage with the other setup, but at least more mobility, and I do need that mobility very badly. Alright, there we go. Ah no, I'm not gonna do this cancer act. Let's see. Alright. It is late here, it's 2:36 in the morning here as well. Might stream for a bit longer and then myself call it a night. Go get some rest.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Knowledge is power. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
I can't see you because there's no map. Hope I'm seeing you though.
Nothing can stop you.
Are you behind me? He's probably behind me. Ah, there we go, he's here.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
So yeah, for party this setup seems to be the better option. Allows me to move a lot.
Nothing can stop you.
And it is the faster setup regardless. Even though I do 3 times less damage, maybe 4 times less damage per hit, it's still good.
Nothing can stop you.
Fuck, no energy, this is what happens. The worst time to end up not having energy.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
Let's kill the healer first.
Nothing can stop you.
I do wish they would make the ranged skills of the mage more viable though. Currently the only way for the mage to deal damage is to get close to the enemy. Otherwise all the other skills are terrible as a setup. See, this build also relies on you being next to the enemy, because you're teleporting and leaving marks on his feet. The same as the Phantom Blade Heroic Dragon Tamer setup, where you need to be up close and hitting the enemy. This one requires to be up close and teleporting next to the enemy. And it's just not the way a mage should be. A mage should be dealing damage from afar. Big heavy nukes with big cooldown, hitting the ground or erupting from the ground. Just doesn't feel like a mage that I'm playing in either of the two setups.
Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you.
See, having this aura again, 2 auras, whitening and fire aura that I'm stacking again, I need to be close to the enemies for them to take damage. And I like classes where I need to be far from the enemies. So the further you away from the enemy, the more damage it takes. That kind of build is what I'd like to see. Wolsen has similar builds, and you can build for the farther away from the enemies you are, the more damage they take. But on Wolsen the enemies don't give you a lot of time to shoot at them before they close in the distance. So the AI there is kind of clever to prevent things like that from being effective.
Nothing can stop you.
So while the enemy is in this dome, 25% damage taken, regardless whether it's from me or from my teammate, which is nice for team play.
Nothing can stop you. Knowledge is power.
Alright, we got this one. Alright, nothing here. So I could see up to 12 million damage from those whitenings, I think. Not bad.
Nothing can stop you. Knowledge is power.
Alright. Yeah, 242, maybe I'm gonna stop streaming as well since it is late, but thanks Rhinopi for the matches and for joining, and we can maybe play some more tomorrow once I'm done with my YouTube stuff. And nice seeing you again after such a long time. As for the other ones watching the stream, thank you for tuning in, folks. Much appreciated. Keep it cool, and until next time. Goodbye.